ASMR Gaming News. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to ASMR Gaming News. Please hit that like button, sit back, relax, and let's begin. So we got a lot of video game news this week, so let's just jump right in. Let's talk about the rumor that Nintendo is going to be releasing a new Nintendo handheld system in 2024. So this started as a rumor, and then the website Eurogamer, which is a pretty big, popular gaming website in Europe, actually contacted some people working on the manufacturing of this system. And these insiders, we don't know who they are, told Eurogamer that it is in fact true that Nintendo is working on a Nintendo Switch successor, like the next Switch system, and that it is also going to be kind of a handheld portable system like the Switch, and that Nintendo is looking to release it sometime in early 2024. There's a lot of fingers kind of pointing at a March or April release date. If I remember correctly, I think the Nintendo Switch came out sometime in like March or February. Honestly, I forget, but I think the Switch and the Nintendo 3DS, when those first came out, I think both of those came out like right at the end of winter, beginning of spring, something like that. So yeah, it looks like the Switch 2 is definitely being created right now. And I can't wait to see Nintendo reveal this new handheld system. Because, let's be honest, the Switch is awesome, but it's kind of old. It is definitely showing its age. If any of you ever tried to play a game like Fortnite on the Switch, the game basically runs at like 20 FPS. The only games that run really well on Nintendo Switch are like the Nintendo games, like Mario and Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, games like that. Splatoon, they always seem to run pretty well. But anything like Skyrim, Fortnite, The Witcher, all those games, even Doom, kind of runs a little bit slow, and the graphics don't look that great. So I can't wait to see what the new Switch is going to be. The only info that apparently is, unconfirmed is that the new Switch is not going to have an OLED screen like the Switch currently has. So it looks like we're going to be going back to some kind of LCD screen. And honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed if that's true, because the OLED Switch looks so good with the vibrant colors. I was kind of hoping Nintendo would bring that forward with the new system, but I guess they're not going to do that. Let's see, what do we got here? So Xbox did something amazing this past week, and people are so happy about this. So I'm sure some of you know, but there's a problem with gaming controllers that eventually the analog sticks will start drifting. All you need to do is type in stick drift or analog drift, controller drift onto YouTube, and you'll get millions of results. Basically, when you're playing video games and you're moving the analog sticks, eventually they kind of get very loose and they break, and you'll have characters just randomly deciding to move to the left or look up while you're playing a game, just randomly. And when that happens, you usually just have to throw away the controller and spend like $70 or $60 to buy a new one. Well, Xbox decided that they were going to do something special. They were going to start selling replacement parts for your controller, specifically parts that will break and you don't have to replace the whole controller. So let's say you're one of your analog sticks breaks on your Xbox controller. Guess what? Now you can buy that exact analog stick off the Xbox website. It's gonna be much cheaper, you know, something like $5, $8, $10. They'll ship it to you. You can put that in yourself, fix your own controller. Brand new, basically, instead of having to buy a brand new one. So this is awesome. A lot of Xbox fans are so happy with this news because usually game companies want to make a ton of money and they don't really care about making stuff easier for the gamers, you know. So it would be awesome to see Nintendo and especially PlayStation start doing this, but I don't think PlayStation's gonna do this, but I would love if PlayStation did that too. You have no idea how many times I'm playing like on PS4 or PS5 and, you know, something doesn't feel right. One of the buttons stops being clicky or doesn't push in correctly, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could just replace that button, but I can't because I basically have to buy a new controller to do that. But that's been fixed, at least on Xbox for now. Speaking of Xbox, it seems that Xbox and Square Enix, the company behind games like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, are basically gonna be closer together now. They are planning to become closer partners on future games. And this is great news. Apparently, they're gonna start by porting Final Fantasy XIV Online to the Xbox, and upcoming Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts games and any other Square Enix titles might start arriving on Xbox as well, because for those that don't know, games like the recent Final Fantasy XVI game that came out on PlayStation is exclusive to PlayStation 5. You cannot buy that or play that game on Xbox. So it seems like Xbox had some kind of conversation with Square Enix about this, and they seem very happy. They shared some photos of this meeting, and yeah, it seems like they're going to be trying to work together on future games. So I'm very happy with that. Hopefully, you know, hopefully we get some great games with them collabing together, and hopefully they start porting more games to different systems, you know, like release everything that's on PlayStation, you know, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts games, Nier Automata, all those stuff, like put all of those on Xbox too. I think that would be great. Let's see, what do we got next here? Okay, this is pretty cool. So the PlayStation 5 is basically currently having like a huge beta test for an upcoming update, and this update is one of the biggest PlayStation 5 updates to date. It's, like I said, it's in beta test right now, so only certain PlayStation users have access to this update right now, but they're gonna slowly bring it out to everybody else. This update adds Dolby Atmos support, so you're gonna have even better like surround sound, stereo sound for stuff that supports it. They're adding up to 8 terabytes of larger capacity storage. So if you have an 8 terabyte hard drive that is compatible with the PS5, you're going to be able to use that on your PS5 with this update, so that's insane. Can you imagine how many PS5 games you can use on an 8 terabyte hard drive? Oh my goodness, that is so much space. I love it. And then there's a ton of other features. They're adding a bunch of like social features and connections, but there is one feature that PlayStation fans are rejoicing about. They're literally like just celebrating this news. They are finally allowing you to turn off that annoying beep sound every time you turn on the PS5. So people are so happy about this. There's been so many memes over the years, jokes, people just getting so annoyed with the beeping of the PS5 and the PS4 and the PS3. Because back when the PS1 came out, if any of you ever watched like a PS1 video on YouTube or something, guess what? You press the PS1 button, it turns on, it does not make a beeping sound. You turn on the PS2, guess what? It turns on, it does not make a beeping sound. But starting with the PS3, Sony decided that everybody wants to hear a loud beep every time you turn on the system. and then they brought that over to the PS4, and then they brought that over to the PS5, and people just absolutely hated it. The worst is when you were like trying to sneak at night and play some PlayStation. You know, you wanted to play some Fortnite, some Minecraft at night. Your family's sleeping, your parents are sleeping, your cousins, you know, maybe babysitting you, and you don't want to, you know, tell them like, hey, I'm playing video games here. So you like turn it on quietly, and then the whole house just echoes with a loud beep. So annoying. Or, you know, if you're like a parent, you know, if you have kids, maybe you have a baby that's sleeping on the couch or something, and you go to play some games, you know, mute everything, you press the PS5 button, and it beeps, because there's no way to mute it. So, right now, this new update allows you to completely turn off the beeping noises, and people are just super happy about this. And honestly, I cannot wait to get this feature and use it for myself, because I hate the beeping sound of the PS5, the PS4, the PS3. It was so annoying, so I'm glad they are finally removing this super annoying feature. But let me know in the comments what you think about the beeping sounds, because I'm sure there's somebody out there that loves those sounds. Let's see. We got some news from Nintendo this week. They had kind of like an investors meeting showcasing like how much they sold of their big popular games and systems and stuff this past year. So as of right now, like right now today, the Nintendo Switch has sold over 129 million systems worldwide. That is an insane number. That is a lot of Nintendo Switches. So the Switch, huge success for Nintendo. 129 million units. I wonder how high it's gonna go, you know. Next year it could be 150, maybe. You never know. Next, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You know, the recent Pokemon games that just came out, like last year. These games have over 22 million copies sold, and doing extremely well. So they're very happy with these sales. It's combined, so it's both of the games together sold over 22 million copies. So basically, I bet it's like 11 million, you know, Pokemon Scarlet and 11 million Pokemon Violet sales. So combined, that's 22 million sales. So Pokemon is super popular as always. And then we got some news about Pokemon, not Pokemon, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, just to put this into perspective, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom literally came out like 2 months ago. Like, this is a brand new game, and it's already at 18 million sales. That is incredible. That is like so many people that own a Switch bought this game. So Nintendo is absolutely just destroying the competition out here with their games, and they absolutely deserve it, because Nintendo has just some of the best games out there in my opinion. So really, really happy to see Nintendo's success. I can't wait for their upcoming Switch games this year, and I can't wait for the new Nintendo Switch 2, or whatever they're going to call their next system that apparently is supposed to come out next year. And then, let's see, we got one final piece of news here, which is a little bit strange. I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit weird, but this is kind of interesting. So, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the, you know, Star Wars game that came out, did not get a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One release. Guess what? The developers are actually porting. They're making a port now to backwards compatibility port this PlayStation game to the PS4 and to the Xbox One. So usually games come out and then they make them for new systems. Now instead what they're doing is they made a game for a new system and they're bringing it out on an older system. This is like super rare. This never happens in the video game industry, like ever. It's basically like, imagine if Elden Ring came out for the PS5, and then after it was out for like a year, they're like, okay, we're gonna make an Elden Ring port for the PS3 or the PS4. It would just be like, okay, why are you doing that? But yeah, that's what they're doing. I think they know that there's like a lot of Star Wars fans that maybe maybe have a PS4 or an Xbox One that didn't upgrade to an Xbox Series X or PS5 yet. And I'm sure they want more money, you know, from sales. So like, hey, let's try to downgrade the game's graphics a little bit. Maybe lock the FPS at 30 and release it on the PS4 and stuff. So that's what they're doing. It's very, very interesting. I was not expecting to hear something like that this week, but yeah, that's kind of all the big and important video game news for this week. So thank you all for listening, for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. So long, and farewell.